Thank you for joining us here today at Tampa Bay Watch. We're getting ready to do our Seining lab. My name is Katie Mastenbrook. I'm the Director of Education here at Tampa Bay Watch, and I'm joined today by Audrey Mitchell and Amy Rodenheffer, two of our education specialists. If you're not familiar with who Tampa Bay Watch is, we're an environmental nonprofit who focuses on the protection and restoration of the Tampa Bay Estuary through education and restoration programming. We're going to get ready to do our Seining lab in the Tampa Bay Estuary. An estuary is a body of water where the rivers meet the sea, or essentially where fresh water and salt water are meeting, mixing, and making what is known as brackish water. There are four main habitats in the Tampa Bay Estuary. Those consist of our salt marsh grasses, our mangroves, our tide is a little bit high right now, but our lush seagrass beds, and then our oyster bar reefs. A seine net is a species collection tool used by scientists and fishermen alike to collect specimens out of a body of water. The net is designed by having floats on one end and a weighted bottom that allows the net to keep open as you travel through the seafloor, ours consisting of seagrass beds. Our net in particular is 20 feet wide and stands about 3 to 4 feet out of the water. We're going to get ready to start our seining process here in a minute, but just to let you guys know, here at Tampa Bay Watch, we do have all the correct permits to be able to do our seining and trawling labs. All the animals that we are going to collect today using our seine net will be looked at. We will learn a little bit about them, and then we will return all those animals to the estuary. Let's go get ready to seine. Follow us.
From our seining adventure, and we caught a lot of different life today. So we have all of these animals that we collected from that seining method, a lot of biodiversity, a lot of different life. So we're going to talk a little bit about each of these animals, and just letting you guys know that we do have an ID guide that you guys can reference. It is in the link in our description on our YouTube channel page. The first phylum of animals we're going to talk about today are our mollusks. Our mollusks are a group of animals that have usually shells and soft squishy bodies, also known as a foot, that they can use for locomotion, to move around, or even catch their prey. The first mollusk that we are going to talk about today is the crown conch, a sea snail with a protective shell that is covered in spines, mimicking a crown, which is how the crown conch got its name. The main body, or the muscular foot of the conch, has a beautiful black and white marble pattern. Attached to that soft squishy body is an operculum, which is a protective covering that kind of looks like a toenail that can act like a trap door and protect that snail when it retracts back into its shell. The crown conch is one of the most common sea snails found out in our estuary. The next sea snail we have for you today is the banded tulip snail, which is named for the solid spiraling lines or bands found on top of its shell. The banded tulip is a carnivorous snail and often eats other mollusks. The coloration of the foot can vary from dark purple, orange, or even red. The final mollusk that we are going to talk about is the bay scallop. The scallop belongs in the class Bivalvia, bi meaning two, and valve referring to its shells. Bay scallops are known for their brilliant blue eye spots lining the outer rim of their shell that allow them to detect movement, shadows, and even predators. The bay scallop is a sensitive organism that is an important indicator species, meaning that the absence or the abundance of the bay scallop can reflect a specific environmental condition or the health of the bay. Our next phylum of animals that we're going to look at are arthropods. Arthropods are organisms that have jointed appendages, but also an exoskeleton. An exoskeleton is almost like a protective suit of armor that these organisms wear, and they actually will molt it as they grow. The phylum Arthropoda includes over 1 million organisms, including insects, spiders, lobsters, shrimps, and crabs. The first arthropod we are going to talk about is the blue crab. Blue crabs are a type of swimming crab. The last pair of their legs are modified into paddle-like appendages called swimmerets. Blue crabs can be identified by their unique diamond-shaped carapace on their back and their bright blue coloration. Blue crabs, as well as most crabs, are scavengers, feeding on nearly anything that they can find, like oysters, mussels, smaller crustaceans, and plant and animal detritus. Next, we have the Florida stone crab. Stone crabs have a smooth oval carapace or main body and can grow up to around 5 inches in width. They are typically a dark brown color, though juveniles are usually dark purple with white spots. Florida stone crabs are known for their unequal-sized, large, powerful claws used for crushing prey and for defense. We have 3 different types of shrimp that we caught in our seine net. The first shrimp that we will talk about is the arrow shrimp. Named after its shape, the arrow shrimp is a long and slender, distinctly shaped shrimp that grows to about 2 inches in length. They are commonly found in the seagrass beds where they can camouflage easily due to their bright green coloration. The largest shrimp seen here is the pink shrimp. Pink shrimp are found in shallow inshore waters and can reach up to 10 inches and are easily identified by their antennae, which are much longer than their body and often pink. The smaller clear shrimp are grass shrimp. Florida grass shrimp are small and transparent. They are found in abundance in seagrass bed habitats. They are an important food source for many species in the bay, like killifish and pinfish. The next organisms that we are going to talk about belong in the phylum Echinodermata. The word Echinodermata means spiny-skinned animal. Echono, spiny, and derm, referring to skin. In this phylum, we have organisms including sea stars, brittle stars, sand dollars, and sea urchins. All of these organisms have spiny skin and tube feet. Tube feet are like suction cups, which are arranged in grooves along the sea star's arms. They are used to pass food to the mouth, located in the center of the sea star's main body, and can also be used to attach to surfaces. The next organism that we're going to talk about is in phylum Chordata. That means it has a backbone. The only chordates, organisms that have a backbone that we have today, are fish species. The first fish that we are going to talk about is the seahorse. In our area, we get 2 different species of seahorses, the line seahorse and the dwarf seahorse. During our seining programs, we catch the dwarf seahorses. They are usually going to be tan or yellowish and can only grow up to around 1.7 inches. They stay small their entire lives. Gulf pipefish are closely related to seahorses and have long tube-like bodies and elongated snouts used for eating small prey like plankton out of the water. Their main body coloration ranges from tan, olive, to dark brown and provides them incredible camouflage in their seagrass bed habitat home. In our seine net, we always catch lots of different bait fish like pinfish, mahara, and bait anchovies. Bait fish is a general term given to small fish species that are commonly used by fishermen as bait. These fish are low on the marine food web and provide a food source for many of our other marine organisms and other game fish species. The spotted sea trout, also known as speckled trout, get their name for their beautiful spotted cheetah-like pattern. They are also a popular recreational fishing species found out in our estuary. Needlefish are a long, slender silver fish with elongated, narrow, tooth-filled jaws that can usually be found on the surface of the water looking for their prey, such as killifish and silversides. Sheep's head are a gray fish with 5 or 6 dark bars or stripes on the side of their bodies. Their diet consists of usually clams, oysters, barnacles, and crabs. They have several rows of stubby teeth that closely resemble humans' teeth. These teeth help them crush the hard shells of their prey. Southern pufferfish are brown on their dorsal side or top side of their body and pale underneath. This special coloration is called countershading. On top of the dark portion of their body, they also have pale white spots arranged in a unique ring or flower pattern. Pufferfish are also known for their puffing up defense mechanism. Pufferfish use their flexible stomachs to quickly ingest huge amounts of water to turn themselves into a spine-covered ball, several times their normal size, making them less palatable to anything trying to make that pufferfish their dinner.
Our hands-on seining program aims to educate students about seagrass bed habitats and the incredible biodiversity of the marine ecosystems, all while empowering and encouraging our students to act as environmental stewards of the Tampa Bay Estuary. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our Seining Lab. We can't wait to have you guys back in our classroom.
Please consider donating or becoming a member so we can
Save the Bay every day!